it's almost like they people want a class of people that they can kick around. You know what I mean? It's just like, skimp their money on school, send them the brainwashing books like The Gun. Like they just want people that can kick around for some reason. I'll never understand why. And it's just, they have such a heavy burden on them, and then it's like they can't find work, so they give them welfare. But even the welfare is a scheme in some way of controlling them, and it's just like. It's just society loves to have people kicking around. And I hate when I hear my own kind saying the word ghetto. Like, oh, this shirt is so ghetto. Oh, my car is so ghetto. And it's just like, you don't really understand what a ghetto is. It's just like a place where they put unwanted people. I don't think you should be making light of that word.
And it's not even a matter of unwanted people. It's just people that, the working class, people who make the rich richer. We make them richer. We don't get a say, and we don't organize and say, hey, you know what? We know that not everybody can be at the top, but let's just make things, let's just make things better. We as a society can make things better. And there's several examples in history where people come together to make real good societies. Do they eventually fall apart? Yeah, everything falls apart. Nothing lasts forever. But we here right now, in 2013 turning to 2014, we need to make sure that we need to fix this situation in Texas, because this is just straight up wrong. And I think the first thing you could do is go to change.org to and I think that's the first step. Public, what do you think?
Putting in some sound effects.
Yeah, because, I just had to have the kids boo real quick. And I'm going to have them boo again for this whole Affluenza nonsense. Because I look at it and I'm like, all right, so you're telling me that, one, because my parents not millionaires, that any crime I commit, the full course, the full throttle of the law is going to be put on my head. Yeah. If my parents have money, I can continue to break the law. That's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah, definitely.
Because now it becomes to a point where I feel invincible. Like, I'm untouchable. There's nothing you can do to me. There's nothing you can say to me. So I'm just going to continue to break the law. And at worst, this dude kills people. I don't care. It's like, you can't bring that back. It's not like you stole an iPad and then you say, listen, man, I messed up. I'm going to bring your iPad back 2 days later. You can't bring these people back. And so many individuals have been affected by this. It's sad to me, man. It's sad that society and an individual goes on TV and talk about it like it's okay. Like, you're trying to make up some nonsense. I can't even mental disease and affluenza because you have too much. You have no sense of what's right or wrong. Come on, man. Get out of here with that foolishness, man. One more time from the kids.
Do we know do we know anything about the victims? Like where they were from, who they were? We just know they're dead.
Yeah, okay. So, let me just quick little synopsis of what I've read here. It says
The point is, I'm saying, is like his life was valued over 4 people. But they teach you, teach you that in ethics, though. You know what I mean? Like if there's a boat full of 3 people, are you going to choose them, or are you going to choose the boat with 3 kids? You know what I mean, or 2 kids? So which boat would you choose? I mean, that's. I'm sure they do that with judges too. I'm sure a lot of professions do ethical classes, but basically whose life is valued more. And that's what it is. Because if he spent, 10 years of probation, that's easy. He's a rich kid. He's going to allegedly stay out of trouble versus 10 years in jail. That's 10 years ruined out of his life. So whose life do they value more? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna give you, and this is your boy Public Announcement, an insight to my trials and tribulations in life. There was a particular event that happened many moons ago where I was on a situation where I was on a boat and I was told if anything happened on that boat, you would have to step over that individual to save the boat because it's 1 or 380. So in that concept, I'm like, all right, cool, I understand. You know what I'm saying? You save the boat because there's more lives to be saved. But there's no boat here. This kid killed others.
Yeah, so it's his life to live, or it's their life that's dead.
Right. So I mean, society. I'm just like appalled at this whole situation. I'm so frustrated. When Anthony Cook presented the information to me, I think it was like 5:30 in the morning. I'm on my meditation, and
just broke you out of your meditation.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow, like that's unreal. Like I just can't believe, like a grown man with kids of his own is on TV talking about that's okay. He needs a slap on the wrist. So now every rich affluenza, whatever the word is, child out there is going to be on a killing spree. So instead of people, let me tell you something. Instead of looking at the man on the block, you better be looking at the rich man because the rich man is going to get away with it.
The rich man hired the man on the block.
Yeah, you better be careful. So, you know what I mean? Because the rich man, the man on the block might rob you, but the rich man might kill you and get away with it, which is crazy to me, man.
But you know what? The rich man hired the man on the block to scare everybody. You ever thought about it like that?
That's another story.
Yeah,
that's another segment.
But Judge Jean Boyd is the judge that presided over this case. And she is expected to not seek election in 2014. So she's going to retire in 2014. And a lot of people don't think it's happening soon enough.
Yeah, but she's already done the damage, though.
Dang.
It's kind of, it's a lot of people are very upset about this whole situation.
Yeah, who does that?
And a favor.
Listen,
It was done as a favor. She's
that's
about to
why-
go out the door, and they're like, look, we need you to get this kid off. And here you go. It is what it is,
Yeah,
what can you do about it?
And it's crazy because the thing that I get mad at with this whole situation, right, is that she's a judge. And you're sitting here, you're telling me like this innocent kid in her mind, right, killing people. What about those individuals that died? Those are the innocent individuals, the ones that died. You're telling me you're going to have... Now, do we talk about what's going to happen while he's in this rehab facility, whatever they call it? He's going to have one-on-one cooking class, Bree. He's going to have yoga. He's going to have some state-of-the-art...
because he's suffering from a psychological disorder, so that makes sense.
Oh, so they're gonna. Oh, okay, all right. Well,
But we're not buying it.
yeah, because if you're suffering from a psychological disorder, I mean,
So you need yoga to relax you. You need good food, good healthy food.
oh, okay.
And, I wish that we could do this for more people,
Yo, I'm at a point right now where this whole situation is kind of frustrating, and I want the people out there who are listening to the Minority Men Show to call us in 617-903-7469. That is 617-903-7469. I'd like to thank you to that caller who called previously out of Braintree, Mass. Thank you so much. Call us back if you have any other comments. One of the things I wanted to kind of, Anthony Cook wanted to talk about was this BC High experience.
But before
Blue
we get
wanted
into
to
that,
say something.
before we get into that, Blue, when you were in that facility, were you given
Massages between your toes.
yoga, meals? Like, were you taught how to cook?
Listen, I've suffered from in a psychiatric prison, but so it's labeled a psychiatric facility, even though it is basically just jail with a medicine line, because it's not mental health workers. It's like prison guards, like the real prison guards. And that place is not a place of healing. It was just like, it was misery. Like, someone said to me, oh, you didn't go to regular prison. I said, first of all, I can fight. I'm a vicious human being. I'd rather go to regular jail and not be drugged up like that than go to that place. Because it's like, you just go there and it's like the guards prey on you. They try to set you up so they can have an excuse to beat you up. And it's like, you go out into to the courtyard after they feed you, and it's just like all these medicated people just like sitting against the wall shaking because the drugs they're on, and you don't have that much because it's just a water fountain for all those people, so you don't have that much access to drink as much water as you're supposed to when you're on that level of lithium. It's just it was a misery. That place was just misery. I was only in there for 4 months, but it's just like I can only imagine just being there for life. I'd rather get death. I mean, it's just such a horrible place. And that's the psychiatric facility I was sent to. And I didn't kill 4 people. And so it's just like, yeah, it's just like, it's a joke. I'm not saying that psychiatric facility is a bad idea where you get yoga and you get all this stuff, but it's like, why shouldn't more people get that treatment?
Another point I think is that, like, what happened to cause and effect? Like, that's the simplest thing. Like, when you do something, there's an effect. And, like, basically for punishment, and the reason why the judicial system was created is because you do something and then there's a consequence for it. So he was drunk, drove, and killed people. So what is the consequence? You know what I mean? What is the consequence for his action? To go to court and then be let off, and just the consequence is for him to get some yoga so he can relax. I bet you he could afford that before he was even so how is that a consequence for him to have yoga and have a special cook?
I mean, he should know. How do you not? I mean, doesn't everybody know you're not supposed to drink and drive? Doesn't everybody know that?
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he had a driver all his life. I went to school with actually a Middle Eastern princess, and she never drove. Her driver was there all the time. She never drove ever. So maybe she doesn't know. And, of course, she probably drank, and he probably drinks. The family probably allows that. But then maybe you don't know that you can't drink and drive. I can understand that, but my thing is that for every action, there should be a consequence.
In the Anderson Cooper interview that he had with the dude that was came up with the defense of Affluenza, he was saying that the kid's going to be on probation for 10 years, so he can't do drugs, have alcohol in the system when he gets tested, so that's how he's suffering over the next 10 years. That he won't be able to, I guess, have fun, because they'll be monitoring his, alcohol content and his, if he's taking any type of illegal drugs, he could be sent to prison or whatever. But let's face it, if he got convicted, if he got off on Affluenza and they got pulled like that, he's probably, if he violates his probation, he's probably not going to serve any time.
Yeah, and plus the thing is that they're trying to disguise it as a real punishment, talking about he's going to suffer. Ultimately, he's probably going to know when they're going to drug test him. Of course, you know what I mean? So it's just like that's not a real punishment, but they had to make it a way that made it seem that he was really getting it.
Absolutely, they had to justify it. Public, do you want to do a commercial or do you want to?
No, let's jump. Let's jump right into this, man.
Let's do a commercial.
Take
a little break.
We're gonna do commercial.
So
let's take it back to let's put on some Monica.
Some Monica.
Some who?
Some Monica. All right, we're about to take a short commercial break right now.
I don't know that song. We'll be back. This is the Minority Men Show.
Stay tuned.
Chevy music. Rose petals on the floor, wine got you wanting more, got you feeling